Well, we just can't seem to get out of Hebrews chapter 11. So here we are again in that chapter, and I'm going to begin reading at verse 32. And what more shall I say? For time will fail me if I tell of Gideon, Barak, Samson, Jephthah, of David and Samuel and the prophets, who by faith conquered kingdoms, performed acts of righteousness, obtained promises, shut the mouths of lions, quenched the power of the fire, escaped the edge of the sword, from weakness were made strong, became mighty in war, put foreign armies to flight. Women received back their dead by resurrection. Stop there. All of these are great success stories. Our preachers of American Christianity, of the prosperity gospel, would love this text. Here are people that show you just have faith and everything will be rainbows and unicorns. Yeah, except that continue in verse 35 where I left off. And others were tortured, not accepting their release, so that they might obtain a better resurrection. And others experienced mockings and scourgings, yes, also chains and imprisonment. They were stoned, they were sawn in two. They were tempted, they were put to death with the sword. They went about in sheepskins and goatskins, being destitute, afflicted, ill-treated, men of whom the world was not worthy, wandering in deserts and mountains and caves and holes in the ground. Where's the victory for them? Where is their prosperity? Where is their comfort and ease? Didn't they have enough faith? Well, yes, they did. Look at verse 39. And all these, having gained approval through their faith, did not receive what was promised. They had the faith, but they didn't receive what was promised. Why is that? Well, back to verse 13. All these died in faith, without receiving the promises, but having seen them and welcomed them from afar, having confessed that they were strangers and exiles on the earth. For those who say such things make it clear that they are seeking a country of their own. And indeed, if they had been thinking of that country from which they went out, they would have had opportunity to return. But as it is, they desire a better country, that is, a heavenly one. Therefore, God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he has prepared a city for them. They knew, all of them, that life and real value was more than just mere physical existence. I'm sure glad of that, aren't you? That life is more than just what we got now? Although they lived before Christ, they looked forward to Christ. Verse 26. Considering the reproach of Christ greater riches than the treasures of Egypt, for he, Moses, was looking forward to the reward. And it is through Christ that they were made perfect. Verse 40. God had provided something better for us, so that apart from us, they would not be made perfect. To be made perfect, to be justified, is another way of saying to be saved. And they, though they lived before Christ, were saved by Christ, by their faith in Christ, just the same as we are who look back to Christ. Now look, your life right now may look more like that second group of people than the first group of heroes. Your life may be more suffering right now than victory. Remember that perfection, that ultimate victory, will not come in this life. Let's keep trusting in Christ. All these died in faith without receiving the promises, but having seen them and having welcomed them from a distance, and having confessed that they were strangers and exiles on the earth. So God bless your day and your week.